A very good morning to you all. Rideshare Professor here, and as you can see behind me, the simple driver. And what did I do last night? I reached out to the gentleman. In fact, he called me, and we had a good discussion, and I gave Calvin a personal apology, right? Because you have to step up sometimes and admit that you fucked up or you did wrong, and I did. There's no doubt about it. I initiated a sort of a semi-attack a while ago about, I made a statement to the effect that I felt like, hey, you need to be original with your content and not copy it from others, right? And that was a very low blow. In fact, he could have taken that step much further, but he didn't. He was a true gentleman, and he sort of let that slide. Then I watched the 180-day series, right, where he got the opportunity to interview this executive as well as Uberman. And at the same time, I'm also going to offer Uberman an apology, and I'll get to that. But let me concentrate and set the record straight with the simple driver. And so it was a very healthy conversation. I hold him in the highest regards. Never disrespected this gentleman, but the shots that I took at him were cheap, right? And he rightfully exposed those, right? Which is good, because that led to another dialogue. And then I hope we have buried this beef between us, and then we can have a drink together or go for dinner together when he's in LA. I hope to meet him, or vice versa. If I'm out there, he'll treat me the same way. So what I did in my video, there were a few things that I did wrong, right? Firstly, I watched a video by Uberman, and I reacted to it. And my initial reaction was, I was pissed that Uber used two such powerful platforms, and they are. I mean, they are one or two, or I don't know in which sequence. I know that Calvin definitely has the most subscribers out there, maybe not the most views, but he has the most subscribers. And these are like the top 2, top 3 people out there, right? Harry being in the mix, but this is not about Harry. This is about the way I attack the simple driver, and like you said, shots fired. Well, he came back, which is good. I like that, and I like the fact that you can afterwards have a good conversation. In fact, let me just read you his last text this morning. Thank you. This is from him. Thank you. My word is all I have in this world. Sounds cliche, but it's true. Character defines a man, and he has true character. And he showed me from last night till this morning in the back and forth what a great character he is. So I made a video, and in this video I was commenting on the 180 days, which I represented as fluff, and I stand by that. So my upset should be more directed than at Uber, and instead what I did is I got into my ego state and I started banging heads with this guy, and I attacked the wrong person here, because he had this golden opportunity, and he went in and did a great series, 4-part series, as well as Randy the Uberman. And I jumped to the conclusion that he hardly got paid for it. And then that was my upset. I was like, you know what, Dan, Uber should have paid you 20, 30 times that amount, because you have put your blood, sweat and tears into this, and you deserve more. I did not research, or I made the mistake that I did not ask Calvin what he got paid. So though those figures are not displayed here, but he got his true worth, okay? And that was my mistake, jumping to a conclusion. I shouldn't have done that, right? I should have geared the entire video at the 180 days, and instead what I did incorrectly is I pushed the upset on him. I then owed him a second apology, and I sincerely mean it, and I'm apologizing to you here, because this, I can understand, offended him, right? I studied psychology and spiritual psychology, so I often look at the messages that you get in a thread. And you get hundreds and thousands of messages, and not everyone is a positive, constructive dialogue back and forth. There are a lot of haters and a lot of trolls out there. And what I did is, I said, when they react to your video and get angry and start firing insults at you, right? That 2 percentile is a group that has not dealt with their traumas. How you react to the issue is the issue, right? And I should have worded it better, and I should have concentrated on defining that more accurately, that I was referring to trolls. But what I mistakenly did is I brought in his name right afterwards. I jumped over to him, and it truly sounded, when I watched the video again, it was truly sounded like I was throwing him into the mix, saying, hey, you haven't dealt with your traumas, you are now attacking me, Calvin. That is not the case, and I apologize for that. So I clearly have to separate those two out, right? So I hope you accept this apology. The other thing is where he gave me the opportunity to, you know, express my side. I remember once I actually interrupted him in the conversation, and he said, hey, Torsten, you know what? If I give you the time, sorry, if I give you the time to talk, you need to let me talk. And no matter, in any business meeting, in court, whatever it is, I've always done that, right? You always have to let the person finish their thinking, their statement, and I interrupted him. So I took a back seat, I listened to what he said, and then he gave me the opportunity to speak, right? And he is who he is, right? This is the most upbeat character. He said to me in the conversation, he refers to me as his entrepreneurial friend or brother. I take it as a huge compliment, because he's clearly showing the audience that there's a way bigger picture out there, right? This is one of his best videos where he really breaks it down for you from a business aspect, right? And that's why I chose this one. So, love the guy, I respect him, and I went off on a wrong tangent and fired some stupid mistakes. And I got shot back very well. I mean, it was a good comeback video. I did tell him I did not like the fraud part, because I have no criminal record. I've conducted no fraudulent activity, right? I may have taken some of his words out of context, and you know, if you want to call them a lie, call them a lie. That's fine. You know, I think there was a reference to liar. That I will own. I'll wear that hat. But I asked him to refrain from using the word fraud. It's a dangerous word. It should not be used, right? So what I did is, when I started the channel, I really made a lot of videos for my South African friends, because I knew all the cities there. I lived in several countries in Europe. So my initial videos were in multiple languages about multiple cities, right? And I did a lot of videos, and that's sort of how my channel started. And then I started adding the US to it, and started seeing money come in. Never ever once paid for all those South African referrals, or Austrian or German or Swiss or British. Never paid for that, so I concentrated on the US. So my channel got more and more views. So just to explain that little background story there. But I need to be aligned with this gentleman. We need to work together. We have the same interest at heart. He does. I know he's very, very passionate about it. He has a couple of great businesses going. I have a couple of great businesses going. We shared a little bit about that. He shared, you know, what he does for the community and for children. I told him, you know, stuff that I've done in Africa, throughout Africa. And I didn't want this to become, I definitely did not want this to become a black or white issue, right? So I brought in a quote by Martin Luther King that I stand by. In fact, I met his children at a big fundraiser at the Lowe's Hotel in Santa Monica, California. And I've worked with them indirectly, not directly, but indirectly. So I admire the person, I admire what he stood for. I love that slogan, that quote that I put in the video. And I think it just got a little bit twisted or taken out of context, right? In fact, I got quite a bit of hate mail from a couple of African American people in my channel, which I deleted, and that's purely, I think, them, and I'm not going to judge them, but that's probably them reacting and protecting their guy, right? The simple driver. So that's valid, it's called for. But if they knew me, if like I said to Calvin, if you knew the hours and what I did in Africa for the African community, we'd have a whole different conversation, right? So there my track record speaks for itself. And, you know, anyone that I'd ever meet, I definitely share the many, many years of great work in Southern Africa. And I talked to him. It was a healthy back and forth. So what we agreed on is that my video comes down, right? My attack on him comes down. It gets removed, right? What I agreed on is that me attacking him in the video about branding, I actually used the wrong word. I was reacting to content strategy, a comment he made before, right? That I did not have any content strategy. So I called it branding. He wanted me to correct that, and I said, absolutely, we'll do, right? And then just do a follow-up video for the audience, setting the record straight that we've buried this, right? And that there's no shots back and forth anymore. We work together because, ladies and gentlemen, we are a rideshare community. We are brothers and sisters, and if push came to shove, we'd have to stick together, right? Because you've got some big corporations that use our platform to make a lot of money. That's all I'm going to say, is that it is vital that guys like him and I, Uberman, and all the other cool guys, you know, the entrepreneur, Terry Tips, the Uber lady, I mean, there's just amazing people out there spreading amazing messages, and whether it's Harry, all those guys that are putting good content out there, and I think Calvin, the simple driver, I think he made it like a top 12 list. I didn't really go in that or through that, but you know, if I left out any names, all of us, him and I, all of us should be on the same page, right? And that was, I think, the conclusion and the healthiest part of the conversation is that there's a sincere apology, and that we have alignment, that we get out of our ego, get out of our alpha role. There's no need to be like cockerels and bump chests and, you know, and fists. It's like, hey, you know what, we both doing a good thing, and we're driving a good message forward, and we are there for the people, right? So, you know, anyone that knows me, no matter what city they come from, I put a lot of time and research into that city. I find things for them, little gems, to show them how to make more money, right? And that's my gift, is like researching the little gold nuggets to show them all the angles, how to make more money in their city, right? And I do that all day long. I just got off a phone call right before this video. So Calvin, thank you for the call last night. I hope that you accept my apology through this video. When you're in LA, mi casa, su casa. Let's have a drink together. Let's keep on driving a positive energy forward. And peace to you, brother. Have a great day.